Hi there, everyone. Once again, I'm sitting here by the fire, nice and toasty warm. And as I promised, I would bring to you another one of those gospel texts that we're not going to get this year in the season of Epiphany because of when Easter falls. Depending, remember, if it's a late Easter, we can have, uh, in addition to what we have this year, three more Sundays, three more gospel lessons from Mark, but that's just not going to happen. So we talked about the one that would have been for this Transfiguration Sunday, where Jesus cleansed a leper, and now we're also going to talk about Jesus healing a paralytic. It's kind of a funny story. Four guys bring their buddy in who's well, put it this way. Let's just say you're in a wheelchair, and four of your friends said, "Hey, you want to go to church? There's this awesome preacher there. Let's go see him." Oh yeah, I'll go. So y'all get ready to go to church, and you get there, and you can't get in the door. I mean, it's just jam packed. But there is a way to go see this preacher, and that is get up on the roof, cut a hole in the roof, and lower your friend down right in front of the preacher. And that's exactly what they did. Can you imagine Jesus is preaching and teaching, and all of a sudden sawdust is flying down, and what in the world are these guys doing? You know, besides, who's going to fix the roof when it's all said and done? Not going to make Jesus' mom, Mary, get up there and do it, are you? Not going to make Jesus do it, are you? Maybe his brothers and sisters, they can fix it. Or maybe the guys that put the hole in the roof, they can fix it. Anyhow, make a long story short, he's put down there, and you would expect abracadabra, boom, you're healed. No, Jesus looks at the guy and says, "Hey, your sins are forgiven." What? Your sins are forgiven. We didn't bring him here for that, Jesus. We want a healing. He wants a healing. Well, Jesus knows that because it says he looked at them and saw their great faith. Now, is the faith the four guys who brought their friend and lowered him down? Or is it the four guys and their friend? Is it his faith as well? Maybe he truly believed Jesus could do it. It doesn't matter. He saw their faith, all their faith. And so he pronounces the forgiveness of sins, and there's a whole lot that's tied into that too, but we won't do it right now. We'll get into that another time. We have plenty of time to do that in the Gospel of Mark. But the problem is there's some scribes who are there in that house at the same time listening to Jesus teach. And now they start grumbling among themselves. Oh, who's this guy think he is forgiving sins? That's blasphemy. Only God can do that. Well, if they had listened to Jesus, they would see that Jesus did not forgive his sins. Jesus pronounced his sins as forgiven because God is the one who does the forgiving, not Jesus. God is the one who forgives. Aha. See, they didn't notice that, and they just kind of were grumbling, groaning, because they're already mad about an earlier incident in which they're wondering why can this guy, what school did he go to learn all this stuff, and who gave him his credentials? All right, so the confrontation between Jesus and the religious establishment is happening, and it's really going to amp up more and more and more as we go along. But Jesus looks at those scribes and says, "Hey, what is it easier to do? Say your sins are forgiven, or hey, pick up your mat and take a hike." So just to show you that the Son of Man has the authority to do and say the things that I do, go ahead, pick up your mat, get out of here. That's exactly what he did. He got up and he walked out right with him. Now, what's interesting, you may have seen an earlier video when I talked about healings in the Gospel of Mark, and you always see the term rise up in conjunction with a healing, and here it is. In fact, it shows up three times in this lesson, and it's always in conjunction with uh, pick up your mat, or stand up, or he stood up, he rose up, and out he went. And we're going to see how that fits into the narrative of Jesus' own rising up in the resurrection. But that's Easter time stuff. So out he goes, and they're all there staring and wondering, wow, this is awesome. and they worshiped. It says they were amazed and glorified God, saying, "We have never seen anything like this." So it's an interesting story. It has a lot of interesting little details you have to pay attention to. And again, as I said it before, I'll say it again. Don't read any story in the Gospel of Mark and just say, "Oh, that's cool. What's the next one?" No, pause. Hit the pause button. Stop. Take another look at it, a second, a third, a fourth look, and see where you fit into that story. How do you think that paralytic felt when he heard those words, "Your sins are forgiven"? Was he ecstatic or was he disappointed? Like, I didn't come for that, Jesus. I came for a healing. But then maybe deep down in his heart, there was something there that troubled him, that that word of forgiveness is what he really needed at that time. I think we all need that word of forgiveness, that word of hope, that word of love. And maybe from time to time, a word of healing too. Well, God's blessings be with you. And hopefully that down the road we will get these lessons that we will be able to look at. But again, with the 3-year cycle, it may or may not pop up in 3 more years. Besides, who wants to wait that long? Let's just read it right now. God's blessings be with you, and we will see you later.